What a difference a win can make. Tonight, the Wembley crowd and the whole nation are behind the England team, with just a single point needed for a place in the quarter-finals. It's time for another spin on the Euro 96 Wheel of Fortune.
The England squad has accepted collective responsibility for what happened.
Oh, it comes through now, and it's for Alan Shearer. They're playing a penalty. It's given.
We haven't played well second half. We're dead on our feet.
We haven't won the game. We would have liked to, but don't rule us out.
And I think they're vicious, vindictive and personal.
You played football before? I've played football, yeah. Do you want a game on the grass? One against one, me and you.
To a really vibrant Wembley Stadium, where I'm joined by John Barnes and Jack Charlton. John, what sort of game do you see here?
I think it's going to be very entertaining. I think that both teams really have booked their place in the quarterfinals, so they can go out and play an open game, and they've both got attacking teams now.
Goals, open game, Jack?
Don't think so. I think both managers will have told their team to keep their shape, don't overcommit, leave a player up front, and if you get a chance of a break, okay, one of you do it, but I don't think any team are going to go charging off at each other. A draw gets them both through.
Well, it's the same sides. Let's have a look at them as the last two games. Netherlands who beat Switzerland, England who beat Scotland, John.
Well, if you look at the England team in Anderton, McManaman, Sheringham, Shearer and Gascoigne, they're 5 attacking players. You've got Insta-Hole in midfield, Southgate maybe to drop into the back 4, maybe to play in front of the back 3. But I mean, there are 5 attacking players on show there, so I think England will go out to win.
And the Dutch side, Jack?
Dutch side will flood the midfield with players, and they'll get people back, and they'll always play the ball wide, which might cause England a few problems today. The 2 wide men for England have really got to work to stop the Dutch, because that's their main strength, being able to spread the ball wide and change the pace of the game.
We've all 3 of us enjoyed this atmosphere building up here tonight, and it is very, very special, isn't it?
It is. I mean, orange is a very striking colour. And, you know, just walking along the road, you see all the Dutch fans, as you can see there. England-Holland is a very attractive fixture. England are at home, it's going to be very exciting.
The Dutch are great. I mean, I've come into contact with the Dutch quite a lot over the last few years. They're a very entertaining crowd as well. They enjoy the games. They have a few drinks, they don't go mad, but they're great fun. And them and the Irish got on tremendous together, and I'm sure they've got on well with the English this trip. But they're very nice people.
Lovely pictures. Good. Well, it is also important here that we check on the group table. As we see, a draw will not only guarantee England's qualification, but ensure that they win the group and stay at Wembley for the quarter-finals. Even if they lose, England could still go through. For example, if Holland were to win by a single goal, Switzerland would have to beat Scotland by 3 goals. The Scots can only qualify if England win, and they beat Switzerland by a big enough margin. Group B, well, that provides the quarter-final possibilities. If England win their group by getting the draw tonight, they will meet Spain. If they finish second, it will be France. So the team's due out in a couple of minutes. England hoping they can go through in style by beating the Netherlands.
Obviously, we're going to go for the win. I think it's important that we do. And if we achieve that, then it obviously breeds confidence, and you can go on and forward from there. But the main thing is obviously to qualify and get into the last 8.
I don't think we know any other way to play other than to go out to win. I don't think I've been involved in a team that's gone specifically to get a draw in a game, and I think it would be very dangerous as well to do so.
Welcome back to Wembley Stadium on a lovely June evening, and where England hope to progress to the quarter-final stage of Euro 96. Holland, the opponents for the host nation this evening, and the atmosphere, fantastic. The voice of Freddie Mercury is getting everybody in the mood here at this moment. But John Barnes, just one little ominous point for England. I note that they've only won 1 of the last 8 meetings with Holland.
Well, we've got to win sometime, and why not now? You know, I just say in the last 8 we haven't, but I think there are 4 draws in there somewhere. And
there are 4 draws.
There are 4 draws, and this is as good a time as any. As good a time as any. And it's important for England to win, I feel, because we want the press on our side, we want the country on our side, we want everyone on our side going into the quarterfinals. And if we can get a positive result, that'll give everyone a lift. I mean, even if we don't win, I think we'll still go through. But I think just to give everyone a bit more confidence, a win is important.
Jack, pick out 1 or 2 key players for us tonight, as you see it.
As I see it, Alan Shearer. I think Alan Shearer's really going to be the one who's got a hell of a job with Burgard and Blind. They're 2 of the best centre backs in the business. I mean, Geordie can appear anywhere. He can appear on the left or on the right.
The son of Cruyff.
Son of Johan, and he can appear anywhere on the field. And he showed the other day that he's a very, very good finisher of the ball as well. I don't think we'll see that much. I think Alan Shearer will have to battle hard, and I don't think we'll see that much. What
about all these rumours, John, as the teams are coming up from the bottom of there, from the dressing rooms, about this bad spirit in the Dutch camp?
Well, I don't know much about that, but Holland scraped through in the qualification, and they're here with the possibility of going through to the quarterfinals. I think now, apparently, they sent Edgar Davids home, and I think if they want to go far, they have to pull together. So they really will pull it together, I would think.
Your choice as the teams emerge here into daylight, your choice for tonight?
I would go for a 2-1 England victory.
2-1 for John Barnes. And Jack?
I'll go for a draw.
But it's going to be...
Could be 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3.
Well, we hope 3-3 would do nicely, wouldn't it?
It would be nice.
It would be very nice for England. OK, thank you, gentlemen. Well, Danny Blind and Tony Adams leading out the teams. Let us join now our commentary team. Kevin Keegan and first Brian Moore.
Thank you, Bob. Well, such critical clashes with the Dutch over the years, and most times, have you heard, the English have been left licking their wounds. Well, here's another occasion. It's important for both sides as we come to a critical point in these European Championships. Kevin, your quick view?
Really looking forward to it, Brian. I mean, just listening to the panel there, you know, Jack and John, they almost disagree on what's going to happen here. I don't think anyone can forecast what's going to happen, but there's no reason why we shouldn't see a fantastic game. We've got 2 great sides, and the Dutch on the day are marvellous.
Dennis Bergkamp there, Gaza for a moment out of step, but back in step again now. We shall very shortly have the national anthems. And what has become now a tradition, which I hope the FA will continue with, actually sung by 2 individuals. Glenn Tilbrook of Squeeze will sing our national anthem, and Bill van Dijk will sing the Dutch national anthem. Two anthems superbly sung, creating a great atmosphere with a lot of emotion to it as well. And again, what is traditional is that the teams are shaking hands. It's another little innovation that UEFA have brought in, which is absolutely right on the button. Let's take a check on the teams. And Terry Venables has gone big on loyalty for the third game in these championships. He starts with the same 11. Doesn't mean, though, that the formation will be the same. 3 central defenders on Saturday against the Scots. Expected, I think, to be more of a flat back four today to counter Holland's 2 wingers. Gareth Southgate moving from the midfield to the defence alongside, or maybe just in front of, Tony Adams. Cooler conditions tonight will please those midfield workers, Paul Ince and Paul Gascoigne particularly. Can Alan Shearer make it 3 goals in 3 games in these championships? That certainly would answer a lot of questions. Holland, without Edgar Davids, who's been sent home, but with the same side that beat Switzerland last Wednesday, a side that gave the impression then that their best form was now almost within reach. They'll probably have 3 at the back: Reisiger, Blind and Bogaert. Seedorf may well be the man to mark Gascoigne. Ronald de Boer also is going to take some subduing in midfield. He's such a fine player. Bergkamp will be supported on the flanks by Jordi Cruyff and Hoekstra. Well, let's just have a word with the England manager, Terry Venables. Well, he and his players certainly are aware of the magnitude of this occasion.
Oh, I think they're really up for it. We know that it's not over yet. We've got another game to play against a very good opposition. They're developing all the time, but we've laid our plans out, and we're hopefully that we're in fine fettle. They're big games, and there's a lot of responsibility on our shoulders, and you want to do everything right for the country. They got behind us so well against Scotland. I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
Well, the Dutch in their famous orange shirts will be kicking off. It's almost like a home game for them. Their fans are absolutely incredible here. Kevin was saying just before we came on air, it must be 50-50 Dutch and English so far as the fans are concerned. And remember, it's not since 1982 have England beaten the Dutch. Here's Jordi Cruyff. Cut out by Ince. Winters there, plays his football in Lazio. Great pal of Paul Gascoigne's, Seedorf. And this is a promising chart here for the Dutch with De Boer. Cruyff again, Seedorf. England being pinned back at the moment. Seedorf picking the ball out there to the tall outside left, Hoekstra, and a goal kick for England. The unflappable David Seaman, a hero, of course, on Saturday with that wonderful penalty save against Scotland that turned the whole game. I think even he's been amazed at the amount of publicity he's been getting over the last couple of days. But it won't ruffle him in any way. I get a feeling, Kevin, that we're going to have a real edge of the seats night here tonight.
There's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't. Both teams can relax a little bit, Brian. The fact that England are playing the same side for third game on the trot.
Here's Shearer. Sheringham's waiting in the middle. It's inch perfect. No, it's not. I thought it was coming across from Dazar to Sheringham, but not. And look at this for a break. Let Aaron Winter with Bergkamp, who scored twice against England in his last 2 games. Free kick to the Dutch. Foul by Paul Ince. Ince already on a yellow card, remember, from a previous game. And, well, we know all about Dutch free kicks on the edge of the penalty areas, and certainly David Seaman will from that memorable night in Rotterdam back in 1993. It looks as though Witska's going to be the man to have a crack at it here. No Ronald Koeman, of course, now. Ronald de Boer is close at hand as well. It might be de Boer. It's Witska's shot, and it's no problem in the end for England.
Yeah, dangerous place to give away a free kick against anyone, but especially the Dutch, Brian, because they really do seem to pack a few players who've got a punch. He actually hits this so well, it just keeps rising. It doesn't trouble David Seaman at all.
Just a quick reminder, England, of course, need a win or a draw to put them into the quarter-finals. That will leave them at top of their group. They would play here on Saturday against Spain, who finished second in Group B. There are all sorts of permutations with this game going on here and the one up in Villa Park between Scotland and Switzerland. By the end of the night, as it unfolds, we may well need our calculators, a lot of mental agility as well. Blind, so important to the Dutch at the back. Their captain comes forward, and those runs need to be stopped as well. Winter, it's a real inspiration he is. Here he is again, taking the pass from Cruyff, just clips it down, finds Jordi Cruyff. Scored his first goal for his country against Scotland, and that really got him going rather to Switzerland, against Switzerland. Here's Bergkamp. There's his shot, charged down by Gareth Southgate. This is Witschke having his shirt tugged there by Alan Shearer. Big Winston Bogarde playing it for Reisiger. Quality fullback here as well. A good turn there by Cruyff, but also a good challenge. And in the end, a good clearance by Paul Ince. A good challenge by Stuart Pearce in the first place. And Shearer battling away against Bogarde. But Bogarde gets it back to that beanpole of a goalkeeper, Edwin van der Sar. But there's a free kick for the foul on Alan Shearer.
That'll be a very interesting duel tonight because they've both got tremendous strength. Bogarde certainly, as you saw there. And I think one thing you can never take away from Alan Shearer is his strength. He's a goal scorer, but he's a strong boy.
Good play there by England. Southgate getting it left here for Anderton. Gascoigne's in the box. Shearer's in there too. Sheringham's gone up. Even Southgate's in there as well. Gascoigne too high for him. Goal kick.
I think Darren Anderton, more than anybody else on the pitch tonight, will be looking for just a little bit of a performance. I think a lot of people in the country, myself included, think he's a little bit looking to keep his place, but Terry's persevered with him, and that'll give him confidence, hopefully, because he's capable of playing much, much better. I know he's been injured, but much, much better than he's played up to now. Yeah, if he steps up, Brian, anything could happen.
Certainly his timing was perfect in getting back to something like fitness with 2 goals just before the tournament started against Hungary. That really earned him his place. Here's Seedorf, but given away to Anderton again. That just clipped off the defender, Aaron Winter. Pearce then with the throw for England. Sheringham, another player who's got a little bit to prove in this tournament so far. Adams finding Neville. Gascoigne, little turn, a little flick, finds Sheringham with it. Anderton again, moving inside a little bit. And Shearer comes wide. And look who comes with him, Winston Bogarde. Southgate, little run, chased by Bergkamp. Change of direction, and Bergkamp's persistence pays off. A little flick by him. The challenge by Gascoigne draws a roar from the crowd. And just flicked off Anderton, it seemed to me, but the referee has not given it. He's given a throw to England. Here's Gascoigne. What a wonderful goal that was on Saturday against the Scots. McManaman, his first real run at the Dutchman. And forced to go wide there. Some terrific play actually there by Reisiger. McManaman now picks it up again. Maybe he's in the mood. And here's Neville. Now, what a good cross he gave Shearer on Saturday, but on that occasion, Hoekstra had come back, and England get a corner.
That's exactly what we've got to do against the Dutch, Brian. Neville has got to get further forward. I think he proved the other night, as you say, with that cross, that he's as good as anybody in the last third. But for England, he's never really looked to get in there as much as he's got to from now on in this tournament, I think.
Looking at Sheringham and Shearer here, but Adams has come up at the near post as well.
Shearer shot! Banged off the line there by Witschke. Played in again.
That was a fantastic shot by Shearer. And an excellent... just shows the value of having a man at the post as well. Pearce, hit long. Good start by England, a vibrant start. Gascoigne, Sheringham. Almost got it through to Gascoigne again, but here come the Dutch. Winter, Cruyff. Back to Reisiger. There's Seedorf. Edgar Davids, of course, has been sent home. Davids would have been floating around in those sort of positions. It was a brave decision for Gus Hiddink to do, the Dutch coach. But here's Winter trying to get beyond Southgate. Southgate took a bang on the head, and the corner's conceded.
I was reading in the paper, Brian. Here's that cross again. What a great strike this is. I mean, Sheringham can't get there. He hits it so well. And it's Witsker on the post, isn't it, doing his job. Tremendous defending, really.
It's Witsker now with the corner for Holland. Bergart's there. I think Adams will have to watch him. Curled in towards the near post. And England were in real trouble there. Aaron Winter was with a header.
They certainly were in trouble, Brian, but when the ball's delivered as well as that, it is very difficult to defend it. You know, you only get one chance. Look at the way he whips this ball in. Front man can't get it. From that moment on, they're in trouble. I think actually just mistimes it. It's his shoulder. Just saying before that chance for England was shown, one paper said Jordi Cruyff was a shadow of his father. Well, even if he was only a shadow of his father, he'd still be a hell of a good player.
It's been a bright start by England. I always feel that, certainly with Ajax, you can hustle them a little bit. You've got to get at them right from the word go and not let them impose themselves on the game. And I just hope that England will do that here. But at the moment, the Dutch are looking very good when they do come forward. A handball there by Bergkamp.
Another interesting tussle there. Two club mates know all about each other now.
Adams and Bergkamp.
Bergkamp and Adams. But we've had the start to the game we wanted. Both teams really, for the kick-off, having a good look at each other. Unlike a lot of games we've seen so far, both teams want to win this, Brian.
Yes, I mean, if it were to finish a draw, they would both qualify, but I get a feeling they both want to win it one, because they, I mean, I don't think you entirely agree with me on this one. I think they both would like to play their quarter-final here.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people would think England would. I personally would like to see them move and go to Anfield. I always feel that we should play a few games away from here. Maybe that's why. But I can understand why other people think England would still just play at Wembley. I think the next time the Dutch would like to come here would be for the final. And of course, this could be the final, Brian. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that we're seeing a repeat of the final here, because the way the draw splits, these two teams could meet in the final.
Seaman's goal kick. Southgate, who looks much more comfortable in that defensive position than he did certainly in midfield. And of course, he was born and bred a midfielder in his Crystal Palace days. Here's Adams. Ince. Finding Anderton. Pearce has gone well forward. Here he is, taking the ball from Sheringham. Teddy Sheringham again. Gascoigne, Sheringham, back heel. Ince says thank you. Here's Shearer. Nice movement here by England. Good passing by England. Sheringham now gets it back again to McManaman. Can we get a killer ball in here now? No, it's gone for Anderton. And now for Gascoigne. Good movement here by England and good passing. The crowd are enjoying this. Now Neville, good crosser of a ball, but this time beyond all the white shirts. And it'll be a Dutch throw.
You sound so surprised there, Brian, as you said. Good movement and good passing by England. We can play like the Dutch. We just got to believe a little bit more in ourselves.
All right, here's Gascoigne.
Ooh, bit of space for Shearer. Can he make good use of it?
Tried to get the ball in. He gets a corner off Danny Blind. No, it just starts to flick back. Well, Shearer can't understand that decision. But a goal kick's been given.
I think actually it's in Reisiger, hasn't it?
Reisiger, yes.
You don't get them all, even at home, Brian.
Should have been a corner. Just listen to the crowd getting behind England now.
To be fair, Brian, this is the first time we've started brightly. They want to get behind them. But I always say to the players at Newcastle, you've got to get the crowd going. They come and say, first of all, you get us going. And they don't just come to support. They need encouragement. They're getting it tonight.
Gascoigne. He can certainly get them buzzing. Back heel just picked up there by McManaman. But Blint read that well. Witsker, Blint. Seedorf, De Boer, he's the one we've got to watch. And a lovely ball De Boer plays now for Jordi Cruyff. De Cruyff, and an offside against Winter.
Tries to knock a ball in here, and it's really difficult, but as you see, it's just straight offside.
Shearer winning it in the air. Bogart pushing a header back to Edwin van der Sar.
There's a lot of other things to look out for tonight, Brian. I mean, we've got Tony Adams on a yellow card, Gary Neville on a yellow card, and we already know that we're weak in that department as far as central defenders go, certainly. So there's Shearer also, won't want to lose him for the next game. So a lot of other little things going on around the game.
Free kick to England, foul by Winter on Sheringham. Ince leaving it to Gareth Southgate. Anderton. England's throw. Shearer. Pearce, a long cross. Sheringham going for it. But Van der Sar, who stands 6'4".
Beautifully curved cross in, but this goalkeeper is just nice picking cherries here. He's a big guy, isn't he?
Goes to Milan at the start of next season. It's a terrific long ball there, which was aimed towards De Boer, but Gary Neville read that well. Gets a thumbs up from David Seaman.
He's had a great tournament so far for somebody so young. I mean, you imagine what this does in terms of experience. You just can't buy it. You've got to go through it. Everything he's done right.
Gary Neville winning his 13th cap tonight. Now going to take the throw. Quarter of an hour gone. Goal is still in this game in Group A. Adams to Anderton, or rather to McManaman, got well and truly clattered there by Vitska. And Gascoigne unhappy with Bogart's treatment, and Vitska is on a yellow card for a previous game. There's the challenge. Well, was that late or was that late?
That was very late. He's a fortunate young man not to be missing the next game. A lot of players have been booked for a lot less than that so far in this tournament, as we've seen.
They were going to clamp down on tackles from behind, and certainly late tackles from behind like that one. Now Pearce floating it in. He'll go through to the keeper.
In the old days, Brian, you could have 3 or 4 of those before the referee even started to even think about telling you to be careful. I was just looking as they shook hands starting the game. I think in the old days, a few people would have broken fingers. It used to be tough in those days.
Van der Sar hits it forward. Bergkamp struggling against Southgate. They get the ball forward again to Shearer. Seedorf. Seedorf did well. Vitska to Bogart. Now to Blind. Finned out, look for Danny Blind. Hits the ball long. Bergkamp peels away. There's a chance here, is there? No. Bergkamp claims he was being pulled back by Southgate. That's it. Saying before the game, the Dutch coach, it doesn't fit into the character of the teams to play out an uneventful draw, which of course would suit them both. He says it'll be, believe me, a very entertaining game. So far it is. Here's Sheringham. Jordi Cruyff. Yes. Southgate. Games in recent memory between England and Holland, of course, those 2 World Cup qualifiers in '93 when the Dutch came here and England led 2-0 and the Dutch got back to 2-2. Dennis Bergkamp scored that night, and then of course that nail-biting night in Rotterdam when the Dutch won 2-0 and Bergkamp scored that night as well.
It looks like Ronald de Boer has been given the job of policing Gascoigne, and that'll be a tremendous tussle as well, all over the park, wherever you look. I mean, he is, for me...
He's a quality player.
He's the key player, along with Blint for them. You know, there's a lot of good players in there, but they're key players.
Anderton. Surely obstructed, yes. Alan Winter. That's the yellow card.
Well, that's football today. This challenge is not half as bad as the one we've just seen from, was it Seedorf? And he's in the book. That's just bad luck. Nothing malicious, just a bit of a body
inconsistency shot. Is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, Gascoigne's free kick. Winter, well, he hits Sheringham there, and Sheringham's gone down Poleaxe, just inside the box. Danny Blint says, come on, I don't think you're that badly hurt. It was a worrying moment for Alan Winter, though. Free kick for the Dutch.
Yeah, I think both players genuinely going for the ball, but no doubt about it, he did get a knock.
So there's Alan Winter's yellow card, his first of the tournament. Good jump, good defending by Southgate. Bergkamp was running hard at him. Vitska, Bogart, Seedorf, De Boer has come deep, finds Seedorf, De Boer, Cruyff, Winter. There. Whoa. Seedorf again. Jordi Cruyff. Anderton trying to hold him up. Cruyff's got the legs of him though. And it came off Stuart Pearce for the Dutch corner.
This is a tremendous run from Jordi Cruyff. He's got a little bit too much strength for Darren Anderton, but Stuart Pearce comes across really well and defends. And he looks more at home defending than Darren Anderton does.
And he has certainly blossomed since he scored his goal against the Swiss at Villa Park the other night.
He's 22 years of age, and you know the future's his as far as I can see.
Right, here's Vitska with the corner. Again floated in towards that near post. At that time it was Shearer, in fact, who got back there and got an important header to it. And Ince, who finds Sheringham.
Sheringham then releases McManaman, but McManaman's on his own and the orange shirts are streaming back. Anderton's made a terrific break in there. Ince as well. Ince has brought down a penalty! A penalty for England. Danny Blint brings Ince down, and England have a great opportunity, and it's going to be a yellow card for Danny Blint.
Well, this is great skill from Paul Ince, and really, Danny Blint can't really blame himself for that. Greater defenders than him possibly would have got caught out by it. And what a great time to get a penalty. It was never a bad time.
Unhappy with that yellow card. But Alan Shearer's got the ball. It's going to be Alan Shearer. Oh, English fans will hope that he can make it 3 out of 3. He seems to me a fairly nerveless fellow whenever I've been with him. But this is a supreme test of anybody's nerve against that big 6'4" Edwin van der Sar in the Dutch goal. Shearer now. It's 1-0 England! The perfect penalty. 3 games, 3 goals.
when you place them with that power in that area of the goal, you can be 6'7", 6'8", you don't get them.
So England fans relieved.
Yeah, the shot showed the guy looking really nervous, but Alan Shearer wasn't, and that's the main thing.
Here's Sheringham, and he hits it straight at Seedorf. Don't have any doubt, so the Dutch are quite good enough to come back and put that one right. Terry Venables, that's a terrific start for him. How this team is now beginning to blossom. Flint playing it long. Bergkamp's after it, and Seaman just gets there and punches it away for the corner. One Arsenal man against another.
It's incredible, Brian, but the 2 or 3 balls that have put us in any little sort of trouble so far have been what we would call English-type balls, long balls in for Bergkamp. Once went on the right here where he claimed he was pulled by Southgate, and again there where David Seaman, I think, has done a great job as last man.
Seedorf with this corner. Hoekstra, a 6-footer at the near post. Bogart's up again from the back. Bergkamp will be a danger here. It's floated in and it's gone very deep indeed, and it was flicked away by Sheringham. Roland de Boer with the throw. Aaron Winter. It's de Boer again. Anderton tries to get in there. Jordi Cruyff tried to get in there, but Ince had too much power for him.
He's some player, this de Boer. He can play centre forward, he can play sweeper, he can play right winger, as he just showed us there. He, for me, is the complete footballer.
Blind. Reisiger. That's the ball for de Boer, but
no, he can't play up front, Brian.
Well, he very often has played up front, as you well know.
Yeah, and he's got a twin brother who's as good as him nearly.
Yeah. There's the penalty.
I think Blind was unlucky to be booked because I don't think there's anything malicious in it. But penalty, I think, is severe enough in those circumstances.
English crowd are so much behind Venables' side now. It's a funny thing, you know. They started so disappointingly, we all thought, against the Swiss. Got a little better against the Scots, and that spell early in the second half was Gascoigne. Ince is brought down, but the referee has played it on. Gascoigne's shot goes straight to Van der Sar.
Good refereeing, Brian.
Yep.
Great refereeing, because Gascoigne was in a much better position than the finish he put on, and he allowed him to play on and take advantage of that.
Reisiger. That's that ball again, trying to play Bergkamp down that channel, but there's not a lot of support for him at the moment. Southgate's trying to hold him at bay. The cross comes in, and Hoekstra there knocks it down for Seedorf. No chance. What I'm saying is that so often teams grow into a tournament, don't they? I mean, I think to a certain extent England probably did that in '66 when we started with a 0-0 against Uruguay, and certainly in '90 in the World Cup, Bobby Robson's side, when we started so badly, that Seedorf shot well over the top. But we're getting better, it seems to me, as this tournament goes on, and the crowd are now beginning to respond to England.
Well, we had to get better, Brian, that's for sure. But what I always feel is teams like Germany that have started so well, they rarely win tournaments. And teams that start poorly, and let's be honest, from what we expected, we have started poorly. They're now starting to grow into a team that you really believe. If they beat the Dutch here tonight, they can beat anybody.
There's Gus Hiddink, the Dutch manager. Reisiger. Look at Shearer getting after him. And there's Ince. This is more like a Paul Ince performance tonight here as well.
Well, everybody's playing well, everyone's contributing. I think England are a team that have got to do that. You know, we keep putting too much emphasis on Paul Gascoigne, but all these players are capable of winning matches for us and turning games for us. And it's much better tonight because everyone's contributing. And that's what football's all about.
Adams, McManaman can't stretch out and find it. It falls for Witske. Hoekstra, Witske, de Boer. A little shimmy, goes past McManaman. Change of direction, finds Clarence Seedorf. Seedorf to Bergkamp, back to Seedorf again, off Winter. And now Cruyff. hits it straight at Darren Anderton. Chip by him to McManaman, to Sheringham. Good play by Sheringham, good play by England. And look at McManaman now down that line. Shearer's the only man in the middle, and there are 5 back for Holland, and they get a corner. Came off Vitska.
Well, the England team are working so hard that when he breaks quickly like that, it's just totally unfair, especially on a pitch like Wembley, to expect him to get with him. And I think McManaman did the right thing, was trying to hold it up, just buy people a bit of time to get with him. You know, it doesn't bear thinking about, but if England went 2-0 up, the Dutch would start to have a look over the shoulder. I wonder what's happening at the other game.
Southgate's up there. Anderton's corner. Ball towards Sheringham. Banged clear by Hoekstra. Only Bergkamp is up, but Pearce is looking after him for the moment at any rate, but now it falls again. And suddenly there are 2 up. There are only 3 back. This is a great counter-attack by the Dutch. Here's Seedorf. There's space for him. And there's space here for Jordi Cruyff as well. But his shot's charged down by Ince. And Ince is in trouble.
I bet he wished he was a cricketer now. Could wear a box. He really took a rattle there. All in a good cause though, Paul. Just smile and get on with it.
That really is easier said than done.
Well, the only thing the physio can do when he comes on his count, and that's what they say.
Right, it's Reisiger with the throw. McManaman nodding it to Gascoigne. Adams gets it back. Austrian linesman unhappy with the challenge there by Winston Bogarde. Smiles a smile of resignation as England get a free kick. I must be fair, it was 6 of one, half dozen the other, that I must say. The England goal scored by Alan Shearer from the penalty spot. Gascoigne with a free kick. Now what can he produce here? Hit in lower. Will it come for Ince? Will it come for Sheringham? Good save.
Very good save from the keeper. Again, England from set pieces have been good in this competition so far. And this is a super strike. Keeper, fortunately for Holland, is just in the right place. Great hands.
Meantime, here's Winter finding Cruyff. Blind. Cruyff. That should be Stuart Pearce's, and if not his, David Seaman's. Bergkamp had an amazing scoring record for Holland. We should be well aware of that as Dennis Bergkamp. 47 caps, 25 goals. It's good shooting. 16 for Arsenal last season. Up to Gascoigne. Sheringham. Shearer out on this touchline now. Gascoigne. Shearer again. Southgate. McManaman. So easy that time, but he killed that beautifully. And also sprang a lovely 30-yard ball for Paul Ince. No, that's asking too much of Paul Gascoigne.
Southgate there, just in that little spell of 30 seconds, showed us he's so accomplished at this level. I think I love to see him. I just watched him sing the anthem before the game, and he's enjoying every minute of it. I don't suppose if you'd have told him 6 months ago he's going to be part of this, he'd never believed you. But he's a major part of it now. He's very comfortable at this level.
There he goes for this header. Just got beaten to it that time though by De Boer, but there was a foul by Southgate, a free kick to Holland. Bergkamp, long range shot, cannoned off the defender and goes for the corner. So no doubt Vitska will come across. He is already. Will float another of those corners in towards the near post, which, as Kevin says, are so difficult to defend against. Shearer now has taken up a position there. Hoekstra is the man he might well aim for. plenty of yellow, or rather for Holland, there are plenty of those orange shirts. And knocked over by Winter. That's twice he's got first to a header from that sort of corner. Twice he's not been able to keep it down, and it's gone, thankfully for England, over the top.
Again, very good delivery. And I would think, you know, Terry Venables likes to scribble things down, and he'll be scribbling down who's supposed to be picking up Winter from set pieces. That's 2 out of 2. Look, it's Ince, I think, and he's got the beat of him in the air.
Bogart. Quite a recent newcomer to the Dutch side is Bogart. Played his first game against the Republic of Ireland in that playoff game for this tournament. Neville, quick throw, might release McManaman. Bitska came off De Boer. Oh, what a lovely back heel by Gascoigne. Played now for Sheringham by Shearer. Can Shearer get it back on return? He can't. No, he shoved Bogart in the back, and it will be a free kick to the Dutch.
England very inventive tonight. I can see Alan Shearer getting a lot of chances. I mean, again, only the strength of Bogart there kept him at bay. Lovely little 1-2 into space for him to chase onto. They're the balls he wants, and already in this opening 34 minutes, we've seen more of him than we have in the other 2 games put together.
Here's Reisinger. Winter. Getting it wide, Hoekstra. Then again for Seedorf. Almost a casual little chip there, knocked down by Bergkamp. And then Winter shot charged down by Ince. He's done a fair bit of that tonight so far, Paul Ince. Gascoigne's just fallen to the ground, but he's up again. Good interception there by Adams. Needs to get back though now. Jordi Cruyff. Anderton tracked him and also conceded the free kick. A bit of danger here again for England. 24 yards or so out.
This is where England have a few problems, when you get people like Anderton having to defend, and of course this system we play means that everybody's got to pick up men, and he's having a little bit of a struggle with Cruyff, who's targeting him and running at him, which forwards don't like. I never did when I played. Just not used to it.
Looks like it might be Bitska again. Bergkamp's in the wall, and so is Cruyff. De Boer might have a go. Seedorf is also there. Seedorf, it clipped off the defender, goes for the corner. Seedorf, who's been with Sampdoria and has now just signed a deal to play for Real Madrid.
Yeah, it didn't really work for him in Italy, Brian, and I think sometimes when they move at 22, 23 years of age, it's too early. You know, it's too much for them, and maybe he'll be happier in Spain.
Well, here he is with the corner for Holland. And the fist of David Seaman gets that away, and the right boot of Dennis Bergkamp puts it a good few yards wide. Goal kick for England.
It's good goalkeeping this from David Seaman, because the punch lands outside the box. It's a great strike. If we'd been on target, it would have been interesting, but unfortunately kills the cameraman.
England 7-4 to win tonight. Dutch and the draw were 13-8. Germany still 2-1 favourites to win this championship, though. Here's Cruyff, just looking the ball through, tries to get through towards Bergkamp. Adams got there first. And Azar. Reisinger. Winter. Challenge there by Anderton. Certainly let Pinter knew that he was around. Blint. And England are getting crisply into those challenges tonight. They're not giving the Dutch time to think and to create too much damage at the moment. Reisiger. He's gone past Anderton. That's a lovely cross. He's whipped in there towards Bergkamp.
Well, he's annoyed at himself there, Bergkamp, but he needn't be. He had no right to win this ball. Look at, I mean, this is Rice against Anderton again. He's having to do a lot of defending. It's a great cross. And watch how he just gets in front there. I thought he did tremendous to even get a touch on the ball. But he's such a perfectionist, he thought he should have scored.
Showed also the quality of that fullback, Michael Reisiger.
And the way the Dutch play, Brian, they pull you all over the place, and they keep finding Anderton having to defend, as we say, and he's genuine, he's trying to do it.
Oh, there's problems here. Bergkamp through, and a terrific save by Seaman. There was a problem there, caused in the first place by Gareth Southgate, who didn't get enough purchase on the back pass. Bergkamp was on it. That's with that back header there. Bergkamp was on it like a flash. And Seaman against another Arsenal teammate. Look at, he comes well out there, stands up big, strong arms, gets it away for the corner.
The first one to go over to him was Southgate to say, hey, thanks, mate.
Now another of these difficult corners from Witska. Flicked in there, but Hoekstra couldn't make it. It was Shearer, in fact, who got that clear to Anderton. Anderton being challenged by Witska. And this is quite a good little spell by the Dutch now. Seedorf finding Cruyff. Trying to get Bergkamp in again. Play on, said the referee. England thought there was a foul there on Adams. Here's Ince playing it forward. Sheringham are giving the ball away at the moment. Knocked in again. And Southgate just happy to bang it away. And in the end, the ball goes into touch.
Yeah, Bogart got a very nasty knock there, Brian.
Meanwhile, up at Villa Park, good news for the Scots. Ali McCoist has put them 1-0 up.
Bad news for all those who bet them not to score a goal. Well done, Ali McCoist. He just can't stop scoring goals, Brian, can he?
That was the challenge that leaves Winston Bogart in trouble. So far so good for England. I mean, they've looked stretched over the last 2 or 3 minutes, but overall it's been a very tidy performance indeed.
Really has, Brian. I think Terry Bennell will be delighted with their attitude, the way they've worked. You've got to work hard against this Dutch side. I think Juventus showed us against Ajax in the European Cup final that if you hassle them and worry them a little bit more than they used to, the fluent football doesn't come. He'll be delighted.
Looks relaxed about it.
Robbo's trying to get on.
Brian Robson.
He wouldn't be out of place on there either. I was watching him before the game, Brian, going around every player, and I thought, isn't it lovely to see players like that involved at this level? They've got so much to offer.
Ince. He's much more in the mood, Paul Ince. He's much more himself tonight. Southgate hitting it long. Shearer looking to collect, but he's first got a problem dealing with Michael Reisiger. England throw. You always say you can tell whether it's been a good first half because it seems to have gone so quickly. I looked at the watch there on the top of the screen there and realised it's just about 3 minutes to half time. England fans very happy with the way the side's playing at the moment. A goal up thanks to Alan Shearer's penalty, and Sheringham and Anderton, and a goal kick.
And it's no more than they deserve, Brian. You know, another great move, great run from Gaza. He doesn't look he's going to get it. Gets a lovely touch on. Sheringham can't quite reach, or just gets a touch on it. And Anderson's the one. Very difficult angle this. He just slices it wide.
What do you make of him, eh? Paul Gascoigne?
Well, he makes you laugh and he makes you cry. But there's never a dull moment when he's around.
Cruyff, that's a foul by Ince. That is also a yellow card for Paul Ince, which means that he would miss the quarter-final if England qualified. Carrying a yellow card into this game. So that's something that Terry and Don Howe there realise now. Midfield will have to be reshaped if England get to the quarter-finals. A little flick in there. Adams gets to it first. Foul on Adams. Free kick to England.
Well, like we said before the game, he could do without that. He's having his best game for England for a long, long time here. But the reason he's playing so well is the other players are getting forward, they're getting a lot of possession, he's backing them up, and I think that's when Paul Ince is best. I don't think he's a real defensive midfield player. He likes to fetch and carry, and he's done it so well tonight. They'll miss him next game. They haven't got a natural replacement for him in the squad. Southgate possibly will push forward, or maybe other options that Terry can come up with, but that's a shame.
Bit of shirt tugging there by Gareth Southgate on Bergkamp. Ince. Pierce. Seaman. The last minute of the first half now. Vitska. Here's Blint. And here on the right-hand side is Reisiger. De Winter. Important England hold on to this advantage now. To the break as we come to the last seconds of the first half. Bergkamp didn't read that properly and didn't get a goal kick.
Oh, how can that possibly be a corner?
He's too far away from the play. It was 2 yards away.
Oh dear, dear.
Oh goodness.
And then, as all referees do when they think they've made the wrong decision, he just clips the back of his heel to say, well, it clipped somebody's heel. But the crowd's boos will tell you. Now, if there's a goal for this, there'll be an inquest.
There'll be an injustice.
Sadov with it. Driven in this time, floated across there, knocked away by Gary Neville. Indeed it was.
Goal kick.
That's a corner.
Well,
that was an important interception there by Gary Neville. The Dutch were giving us some sort of trouble there with that low-flung corner. And the referee knows he's made a mistake by now. 40,000 Englishmen can't be wrong. English ladies too. Right, here's Vitska. We're struggling to get those corners away. Vitska again, a different angle. Good angle too, but also the white shirts were 3 or 4 of them at that particular point getting it clear. And now the ball is away. McManaman's after it. Edwin van der Sar way out of his goal. Not the best of clearances. In fact, it's not out of play. Gascoigne takes it up, being chased by Cruyff, but Gascoigne gets him again, and it goes back to the keeper.
Paul Gascoigne's putting in a real team performance here. He's not slowing the play down. He's not wanting to do all the things he's good at. He's playing for the team, and it's working.
Dykstra on this side for the first time in the game. Sadov. Thought about the little pass in towards off the referee. Oh, that fell nicely for Sadov.
My goodness! The referee's playing a major part now. You can smile. You wouldn't have been if that had been nestling in the back of the net.
He was relieved more than anything.
He was. And Sadov hit a stunning shot there, which just cleared David Seaman's crossbar as the half-time whistle goes, full of good value and very good entertainment too. And what's more, England leading by a goal to nil, with Paul Ince having been brought down by Danny Blint and Alan Shearer with a super penalty. Netherlands 0, England 1.
Hello again. Half-time at Wembley Stadium, and England are beating Holland 1-0 in this, their last Group A match. And Jack Charlton and John Barnes, first of all, you, Jack, it's really an excellent team display from England. The passing has been terrific.
It's been good. I've been a little bit surprised at the lack of picking up the positions early by the Dutch midfield. They just don't seem to be on top of it today. And they seem to be having trouble getting someone else up there to support Bergkamp.
But England passing good, Jack.
England passing's good, and the goal was a terrific goal. I mean, we can ask no more of Paul Ince to get into positions like that. I mean, he's worked hard at the back and he's worked hard up front. He's done terrific.
It's really wonderful skill, John.
Yeah, excellent skill. I mean, he's supposed to be the holding player, but I think if you get a revolving of movement, I think that if Ince gets forward, Gascoigne can hold, and you don't really want to label Paul Ince a defensive midfield player because he's got so much to add going forward, as he showed there in creating the goal.
And Alan Shearer, I mean, you take some nerve. It's 3-3 for Alan Shearer, like Stoichkov.
Well, I think that first goal was a weight off his shoulders, and since then he scored against Scotland, and I never doubted for 1 minute he was going to miss that.
Yeah,
and he's played well tonight.
All the business about the drought, I think it's possibly now 8 in 26 internationals, so it's moving up fairly rapidly.
Well, it's 3-3. That's the most important factor. 3-3 European Championship matches, and you can't ask any more.
He started so well. I mean, very early on in the game, about the 7th minute, there was a very, very sweet half volley.
Yeah, this is a move Tottenham actually work. I think it was supposed to be for Teddy, but it came to Alan, and he struck it well. That's a man playing with confidence. You know, it was just short of a half volley, which are the most difficult ones to keep down. Kept it down, and Vicka just cleared it off the line.
Yeah, Jack, you said about the Dutch being a little bit slow getting into their movement. Once they started that fluid-looking Ajax total football bit...
The main ball that concerns me about him is that we tend to get caught a little bit square across the back, and we've got to be aware of Bergkamp's pace, because he's got tremendous pace. Anything over the top, and he's turned and gone. I mean, you'll never catch him.
Which we saw, obviously, when he was one against one.
We saw one. It was a bad pass back here by Southgate. But, I mean, he's got on the ball here. This is an unbelievably good save. Unbelievably good.
He doesn't go early, does he?
He stuck an arm out, and the ball was going into
Well, it was
the
a mistake by Southgate, so it's more of a mistake than anything.
And then this was followed, the referee played inadvertently
made a good pass there.
Yeah, I mean...
Clarence
Seedorf has...
David actually pulled his hand away. He knew that was going over. You can see him pull his hand away. So you'll always get a new from the crowd, but that was going well over.
The one poor point at this moment is that Paul Ince has got a second booking and will miss the quarter-final should England get through to the quarter-final.
Yeah, I think, well, obviously I think they are going to go through, so I think he'll be sorely missed. But if Jamie Redknapp's fit, he can come and play in that position, or Gareth Southgate can push in and play 3 at the back, depending. So, I mean, it's a good squad. We've got enough players to cover for that.
But it's a shame about Ince, because he's actually been probably England's best player in this match. In the other games, he was sort of, we all said he lacked a bit of pace, he had lost a bit of speed. But in this game, he looks sharp, he looks competitive. And he was always going to get a yellow card, because you can't go into tackles all the time like he does and not get a yellow card. OK, thanks for the moment. Now, let me just remind you, it's 1-0 at Villa Park. Scotland are beating Switzerland. If they could make it 3-0 and it could stay 1-0 here to England, then it would be England and Scotland going through to the quarter-finals, and Holland would be out. But we've got highlights of that game coming up later. So it is looking pretty good for England at half-time. The 2 teams who qualify from this group will go on to the quarter-finals to meet the survivors from Group B, in which the final matches were played earlier today.
Thuram, Block, Desailly, they've all come up again, so there's plenty of height in there. And the header flashing into the corner from Laurent Block. A classic header. Desailly, Thuram as well. Up goes Block. Oh, and it's an own goal from Penev. A second for France. That wall right in front of him. Risto Stoichkov with the free kick then for Bulgaria. And he's curled it in. And Bulgaria are right back in this game now. Risto Stoichkov strikes again. Thuram. Karambol again. Certainly a contender for man of the match. And this time Loco is onside. Away from Mihailov. Loco!
Now Mavisca. Never came back to him. Instead, it's a goal for Spain. Scored by Vancarin. There's some neatness about the Romanian player. Radochoyev's in the clear here. Radochoyev for the equaliser. Yes! Went to Hero. He's the one who's lining up all the shots for Spain. So far to no avail. Still, Sergi bangs it across there to be kept in. Here's surely now! There's the goal for Spain from Amor.
So France, who are unbeaten now in 26 games, by the way, top Group B with Spain grabbing that second spot. Spain now play at Wembley in the quarter-finals against the winners of Group A, and as it stands at the moment here with England winning, that would be England. France will play at Anfield against the runners-up in Group A. So we'll see how it all fits together after the next 45 minutes. Second half at Wembley after the break. Hello again from Wembley Stadium, where it's England 1, Holland 0. The Dutch side already out on the park here for this second half, Jack Charlton. But can I just ask you, someone who knows about 1966 and all that, about the England fans? They seem to, the momentum seems to be building up here, as it did for you 30 years ago.
I think the England team here have given the fans something to get behind them and cheer them for. They've suddenly showed a little bit of spirit and a little bit of attitude towards the game, and the fans here have responded, and they're cheering them to the echo here. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, that's exactly what the England team want. It keeps you going, keeps you on your toes, and it gets you at people. It keeps you motivated.
And John Barnes, for someone who's just missed out on this England squad yourself, I mean, you must be delighted for them that they're suddenly they're stringing it all together. Can they sustain it for 45 minutes more, which they haven't done in the previous two games?
But I think more importantly, they really have to start well, because as Kevin mentioned, you know, the players need to give the fans something to start them off, and they did in the first half of the first 15 minutes. So hopefully in the first 15 minutes of the second half, they can do that, and then the momentum should carry them through to the end of the match.
All right, here we go then. Back to Kevin and to Brian.
Thank you, Bob. Well, the Dutch have made a substitution. They brought on their number 18, Johan de Kock, big central defender from Roda, and it's Witska who's gone off. It looks as though de Kock is going to play right at the back in Blint's position, and Blint will be pushed that little bit further forward. Kevin, would that be about right?
That would be exactly it, and when Blint gets a little bit more forward, he's very, very good at setting things up, Brian, and making things happen for the Dutch, and I think that's a good move.
Adams playing it long and forward, and an offside against Shearer, who was probably just offside when the pass was made, to be honest. He came back into an onside position. Free kick to the Dutch.
I think the other interesting thing about the change is that de Kock will suit Shearer very much. I mean, he's a big, strong lad, but he's not the most mobile. When Shearer starts to make those runs he made in the first half, into the corners, into the channels, I think he could cause them even more problems in this half.
Sheringham in quickly, but concedes a free kick. This is Winter. Cruyff. And they bang the ball into touch so that Teddy Sheringham can get some treatment.
What the Dutch coach Hiddink has done here, he sent out a positive message, very similar to the message that Terry Venables sent out when he put Jamie Redknapp on for Stuart Pearce. And the players sometimes think, oh, you know, that's positive, and their attitudes change, and that's what the Dutch need to do, because in the first half, although they played some good stuff, I don't think it was really what they can produce. I mean, I'm pleased as an Englishman, but I know they can step up on that. With Blint moving in, he'll make things happen for them.
The other decision that Hiddink's got to take, or looks as though he might take soon, is to bring Patrick Kluivert on, who was warming up ferociously during the half-time interval. More about that in a moment, though. Here's Cruyff laying it to Seedorf. Not wide again for Winter. Oh, it's Reisiger. Wide again for Cruyff. Lining up in the middle there. It was Adams with the important header for England. And Gascoigne with the half-volley clearance way up to Shearer, but de Kock beat him in the air. But here's McManaman playing it wide towards Sheringham, but cleared quite comfortably. For Holland by Aaron Winter. The Dutch, actually, which is unlike them, had a closed training session yesterday. Usually they are very accommodating and open to all the media. But a Dutch spy was telling me that they worked Kluivert very hard indeed. So it's quite clear that he's going to play some part in this game. A good bit of this second half, I would think. Certainly, the longer the scoreline stays the way it is. There's Patrick Kluivert right in the middle there, the 19-year-old fantastic striker.
still feel, Brian, if the book's to be written on Holland, that he'll have a chapter in it somewhere because of the sort of season he's had, because of the sort of player he is. You look on the bench and you see him there, you realise what a strong squad they've got.
He's not in the side straight away because he's just had a cartilage operation last month. But he'll come on, I feel sure, particularly if it stays 0-1 to so far as the Dutch are concerned. Here's McManaman. Shearer supporting, Gascoigne supporting him. Ince was there as well, but he bypassed Ince and found Southgate. And here's Jordi Cruyff. And, well, Tony Adams got an important touch on that. It's a throw for the Dutch, though. Winter. Seedorf. De Boer getting it back to Danny Blind. Bogarts. Dijkstra to Bogarts. Blind. De Boer again to Dijkstra. Playing it around nicely. Sensible passing, but in the end Adams got there. Shearer with a little headed ball there. And suddenly Anderton, who's really beginning to blossom in this game, finds Sheringham, finds McManaman. Anderton's in the middle. And in the end, it was Michael Reisiger who turns it away for the corner.
Oh, that's really good counter-attacking from England. I mean, great early ball from Sheringham, set it off. And then McManaman, he knows there's only one in there, he knows it's Anderton. But when you whip balls into this area, this could just easily been an own goal. Reisiger does very well in the end to just hoof it away.
So Gascoigne with the corner for England. Adams again has come up to the near post. McManaman on the goal line, right beside the Dutch goalkeeper.
Sheringham! It's 2-0! What a super header! What a big smile! And what a terrific comeback for a man who really hasn't shown his best form. And what relief for the manager. And what delight for the fans. England now with breathing space, a 2-0 lead. A lovely corner, Kevin.
Yeah, Sheringham's been... This has been on the cards for a while. The amazing thing for me is this time they didn't have anybody on the post, or if they did, he left it. Great delivery. Sheringham pulls off. I don't know who's marking him at this stage, but this is a great header under pressure. I think it's from Winter who's marking him. And no one deserves a headed goal more than him in this tournament. He's missed 3 or 4. Didn't miss that one.
Well done, Terry Sheringham. 2-0 England. Now Blind. Mind you, England were 2-0 up in '93 here against the Dutch in that World Cup qualifier, and the Dutch came back to make it 2-2. Ever the pessimist. Now the ball's out of play, and it may have been a handball as well. There's the corner again, and here's that glorious header by Teddy Sheringham, nestling in the back of the Dutch net.
He had no right to get that sort of power because he couldn't really jump. But it was a tremendous finish, and you know his form's not been great in this tournament so far, but leading up to it, he's been threatening to do that an awful lot. Now he's got a goal, and that'll build his confidence up.
De Boer, Seedorf, Bergkamp, oh De Boer. Knocking it wide for Cruyff. He looked for a good cross, but Cruyff's first touch betrayed him. Oh. The linesman's flagging. Let the referee. The linesman. Oh. A free kick there. The Dutch won't be happy with it. I think the referee, for a moment, thought possibly whether he might do something with Stuart Pearce there. Fortunately, good sense prevailed. De Boer. Sent it a long way. Bogart didn't get a foot to it, and so it goes behind for the goal kick.
It's really set up now. I mean, Terry Venables will know that if any side can come back from 2-0 down, it's the Dutch. But what the Dutch have got to be really careful of, Brian, is what's happening elsewhere, because if it comes on goal difference and England get another one, they might not even qualify for the next stage.
That's right. Well, it's just a sea of English voices at Wembley at the moment. De Boer gets it forward to Seedorf. The young Jordi Cruyff. De Kock. Oh, a lovely turn by De Boer. He's left Southgate there. He flicks it wide now for Hoekstra. Hoekstra crossing it back in, and who's there again? Tony Adams.
Great skill from De Boer, that, Brian, wasn't it? I mean, he really can play anywhere. I just think he's a complete footballer, said before, but he's at home in any area of the field.
De Kock is up for this one. It's something like 6'5". He will be a massive problem. There's Hoekstra, another 6-footer. Seedorf, who certainly isn't. Blind knocking it in. Ince getting it away. Wouldn't quite come to McManaman. The Dutch looking to repair some damage now. Trying to keep England pushed back. Here's Cruyff. Reiziger de Blind. Bogart. Now Hoekstra. Oh, a nice little shimmy there. It got the better of Gary Neville. Anderton gets it away, but only as far as Seedorf. That's a rattling drive. And the ever-dependable David Seaman right behind it.
Well, he made that certainly look easier than it was, because if you see again, this one dips just in front of him. Got a slight deflection as well, but really good hands. And you just feel now that he's a better goalkeeper than he's ever been, and goalkeepers aren't even born really until they're in the late 20s, early 30s.
Well, he's 32 now. Shearer. McManaman couldn't quite get to it. Blint got there first. The clock couldn't keep it in play. It's an England throw. Gary Neville with it. That's a good long throw. Van der Sar quickly grabbing it, throwing it for Reiziger. De Boer didn't hold on to it. Here's Adams. Now Gascoigne. Maybe he'll leave his imprint on this game tonight. There he is. Finds McManaman. Gascoigne. Sheringham again, and Shearer, and it's 3-0! This is a fantastic England performance now. And remember, this is against the side that came here as favourites to win the whole thing.
You will not see a better team goal than this in the tournament, possibly, because there's so many players could have had egos. I mean, especially this man, Paul Gascoigne. He could have gone on here. Sees the spare man, lays a lovely ball in. I think it's to Sheringham.
It was.
And Sheringham could have hit this. But what does he do? Says, here you are, Shearer. You're going to be the top scorer in this tournament. And what a finish this is. But we've come to expect that, I think.
Shearer 2, Sheringham 1. Here we see it again. Gascoigne's touch, Sheringham's wonderful touch, and Shearer's bullet-like finish. Back of the net again, 3-0. What's more, Kevin, this will send ripples right through this tournament now. They'll know that England mean business.
Well, for me, the tournament started here today for England. The other performances, 15 minutes against the Scots, poor really against the Swiss, but everything we've dreamt about is happening here tonight.
And there's a worried man.
He's got a problem. Not only has he sent the player home, they might all be going home if the results go the other against them away from here.
Bergkamp playing it in. Seedorf. Gascoigne won't get to that. De Boer, Seedorf, Blind, well forward now. Cruyff, knocking it wide for Bergkamp, but no, nothing's going right for the Dutch.
But I don't think they'll change the way they're playing, Brian. They'll just keep plugging away, and England have still got to believe that they've got a chance of coming back in it. I mean, this is one of the great performances. I've played against the Dutch. They are masters at coming back as well as building leads. So they've got to keep right on the game.
Winter. De Boer. Seedorf beaten by the strength of Adams' challenge. Here's McManaman. It's important that England keep their concentration and their composure. Back it goes to Van der Sar. Play there by Bogart. He's got Neville here. He's played it across the goal there, and Stuart Pearce in the right place at the right time, banging it away for England. Extra with the throw. Bogart. The place was awash with noise now. What a night this is proving to be at the moment. De Boer. Oh, they're fighting for it, England now. Ince and Gascoigne both wanted it.
Gascoigne plays it through now for McManaman, but Bogart
gets across there. Power and strength and pace about him, and he got there first. Here comes Seedorf. Extra. Knock back to Seedorf. Flicked in again towards Bergkamp. Mathematicians in our camp say to me one more goal for Scotland or one more goal for England and the Dutch are out. That's the sort of tightrope that the Dutch are on at this moment. And England are rampant too. Hit by Seaman. Towards Teddy Sheringham, but it comes instead to Jordi Cruyff. Seedorf, Bergkamp, rather De Boer, now Bergkamp. Goal kick. I can't imagine when the Dutch were last 3 down. I know that Van der Sar conceded only 1 goal in his first 5 international matches for Holland. And there's number 3 being belted in there tonight by Alan Shearer. Shearer into the path of Darren Anderton.
Oh, and a deflection and a super save, and Sheringham is floored.
It's incredible now. Where's it all going to finish?
Well, now we're going into the unbelievable. It's a great shot. He gets a slight deflection. The keeper does ever so well, but Sheringham's the first to react. And you know, this is a great finish. There'll be a few England fans fell asleep in the chair. I can't see it in this game, but if they had fell asleep there, woke up and saw 4-0, they'd really think they've gone to heaven.
I think you've got odds of something around 28 to 1 for a 4-0. So the Dutch are in real trouble now, even about qualifying.
Yeah, and it's even more difficult for them, Brian, because as you rightly said, they'll have not been in that position before.
Goes through to Van der Sar. As I said, he conceded 1 goal in his first 5 internationals for Holland. He made a terrific save there. But you see, England at the moment are just unstoppable, and Sheringham was the first to react very effectively indeed. Guess where they come from?
Well, they've not been that dejected for a long while. You know, it has to happen to somebody sometime, but this is a tremendous display from England, and they deserve to be 4 up.
Oh, there's a good ball, and it brings Cruyff into the game, but he couldn't get hold of it. He gets a corner. De Boer again was at the heart of it for Holland. Might even be an odd tear in the eye there of that Dutch lady. They look shocked. Well, there are a whole sea of orange shirts now in the box. But England again get it away. It was Gary Neville's header that time. A throw to Holland. Well, what more can he do?
Well, he can't do much, Brian, because the finishing's been clinical from England. I mean, we haven't created hundreds of chances, but we've stuck them in so well. The finishing has been world class.
Blint. Rice again. Cruyff. De Boer. In steps Ince. Along comes McManaman. Flick of a pass now to Sheringham. Sheringham and Shearer, a couple of goals each. 4-0 for England. Blint. And still 25 minutes to go. Who says we're not getting good value out of this Euro 96? Seedorf. Stopped by Shearer. De Kock playing it to Bogart.
If England just keep working hard like they've done the whole of the match so far for 65 minutes, they're going to get more chances to break them, score more goals in.
Oh, suddenly there's some space there for Bergkamp. But a poor finish. But England's concentration had lapsed for a moment. Replace the divot, and he does. But there's a lot of space suddenly for Bergkamp there.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed with that, Brian. He really could have took it on. It's on his weaker foot, his left foot, but he could have took it on a couple of yards and maybe forced his Arsenal teammate to make a better save than he had to.
Good play by Anderton. That was a lovely bit of play, and he took it for Sheringham and now plays it in towards Shearer, but couldn't quite get to it. Backheel by Sheringham, almost putting Adams in trouble. Cruyff. Seedorf. De Boer. Cruyff with the cross. Dijkstra won't get, well, he'll get to it here, but cross comes in again. And again England get it away. Riesiker this time. And away come England. Sheringham. Playing it through. Look at this passing again. Gascoigne, a wonderful pass there. If Anderton can just keep it in play, and he can. That's a free kick.
And that's Bergkamp having to defend now. We're doing to the Dutch what they've done to us many times in the past. And when Bergkamp, just like Anderton in the first half, find themselves in that position, and someone with McManaman's ability runs at them, you think, oh, you know, I'm not comfortable there. And it was a clumsy challenge, and he deserved a yellow card.
Free kick for England. Gascoigne with it. Anderton, Sheringham, Shearer, all waiting just on the edge of the box. McManaman's going to join them. Ince and Neville going to join them too. Up in force now. Looking for number 5, would you believe? Paul Gascoigne with the kick. Driven in. And England about to make a substitution. David Black coming on. And I think it'll be Paul Ince going on.
Well, this is great tactically from Terry Venables, because he knows Paul Ince, of course, can't play in the next game. And he's got a good one. 23 minutes to look at David Platt, see how he's got over his recent injury and see how his fitness is.
So the pattern will remain the same. Platt taking up that central midfield position and getting his first touch of the ball now. And a good one to, or not such a good one actually, to Gascoigne. He had to reach for that a bit. Bogart. Extra with the cross. Oh, and Cruyff tried to get in. Pearce flung himself at it to get it away. And then that famous left foot gets it away. The scores stay the same. England and Scotland go through and the Dutch go out.
Well, we still might hear Flower of Scotland soon again in this tournament.
They might indeed.
Britannia. Like the last night at the Proms.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
You see, as a nation.
And Kluivert about to come on.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't come on before, Brian, you know, when it was 2-0. But he's got a mammoth job ahead of him.
Adams.
Pull them out of the mess they're in at the moment.
Well, it's been one of his greatest nights as a manager, Terry Venables, and he's had a few. To Koch. Blint. Still 20 minutes to go then. Winter. Bogart. Seedorf. Bogart. Seedorf again. But the hustling that's going on in the England side though, and Platt just getting a little too exuberant. And a free kick to the Dutch. Dutch are going to make a couple of substitutions. Anderton battling with De Boer, but De Boer still finds Cruyff, and now Winter. Anderton gets it back again. Sheringham rather. Shearer, and now McManaman. Bogart's with him. Looked for support from Sheringham, but the pass wasn't nearly good enough. Reisiger finds Cruyff. And now finds Bergkamp. The flag has stayed down, and Adams got there first. Adams again. Platt. Adams. And now Hoekstra. De Boer. Hoekstra. De Boer again, in goes Gascoigne. Didn't really make contact, which was just as well, because he certainly wasn't going to make contact with the ball. Bergkamp. The Dutch trying so hard to get something worthwhile going, but England denying them again. Sheringham, that's the ball, and it's a beauty for McManaman. And Anderton's gone up on the far side for him. Shearer's streaming through the middle for him. Oh, and Anderton almost got there.
Oh, that's a world-class ball in from Anderton. And now, behind the strength of this, we're starting to see... Was it McManaman, sorry?
McManaman.
Yeah. Great ball in. Great ball in. Again, like the one he hit before. And Anderton's very unlucky not to get on the end of it.
Right, substitutions. De Boer's going off. And Koku's coming on, and Kluivert. So they're taking off Hoekstra and De Boer. And Koku. And Kluivert are on. 19 years old, Kluivert, fantastic talent. As I say, just had a cartilage operation last month. Also involved in a serious car accident, which has really upset his life a good deal. And he's now trying to put that behind him. And the Dutch really need something now from him very badly. Here he goes.
Very, very difficult to come back very as quickly as he's had to come back from a cartilage operation, forget all the other things that have been a problem for him, and play at this level, Brian. He would have liked a few games for Ajax. If he'd have been anything like fit, they would have played him in the European Cup final. So he's obviously still got not just match fitness problems, but he's still having a few problems with the operation.
Flint to Seedorf, and now to Koch. To Holland. To Koch. Seems extraordinary to me to have taken off De Boer, to be honest with you, unless he's taken an injury.
He has had a few problems with fitness, hasn't he? And they've took him off before, but really, it was the one inspiration for me. Seems like a desperate last throw of the dice, and he must wonder what to do.
Ball from Gascoigne. Very nearly found Platt. Koku gets past Gascoigne. Bergkamp peels away from one side. Here's Cruyff. Kluivert's in there too. Koku's up there also. Still with Cruyff. Forced away. Now Bergkamp's in there. And in the end, it was Kluivert's shot. Deflected away for the corner.
That's something else England have done very well tonight, right? They've played some great football, but they've thrown bodies in when they've had to. What a great piece of skill there from young Jordi Cruyff. His dad would have been proud of that.
Here comes the corner. England have had trouble dealing with these Dutch corners all night. This is from Seedorf, this one. Bergkamp. It bounced awkwardly for him, to be fair, and it was a difficult one, and finished way over the top goal kick. Of course, there's been, see it again, there's been all sorts of dissension in the Dutch camp. That's why Davids was sent home. Seaman just getting a hand to that one. And it's said there are factions within the camp, and I think very often a great blow-up does sort things out, but it hasn't tonight for them. Well, Shearer's going off, a two-goal hero. And just listen to the applause for Alan Shearer.
I think he'll be disappointed to go off, and Alan Shearer would like to have got a hat-trick here tonight.
And Nicky Barmby, and it looks as though Robbie Fowler's coming on as well.
This is the trouble with this changeover, Brian. It just takes so long. It's
Teddy Sheringham. So the two-goal heroes go.
Yeah, they weren't playing well the last couple of minutes, though.
And Robbie Fowler comes on. Let's listen to the reception, both for Sheringham going and Fowler coming on.
And if these two start to run riot now, anything could happen, because they'll want some of this. They're playing against a team 4-0 down. It's a lovely time to come on and get a little bit of experience.
And they've got about 14 minutes of the game left, and Fowler already chasing after this one, but keeper got to the edge of the box. Blint.
Bergkamp will be a lot happier now that Kluivert's come on and he can pull off. He's not happy playing as a striker, but he's back to the goal.
That's right. Venter. Reisiger looking to go beyond. Darren Anderton does so. And a goal kick. No foul.
Good referee in there. I'm not sure it wasn't a foul, but he tried to make such a meal of it that the Austrian referee, who was trying to get involved in the play directly in the first half, is having a good second half.
Yeah, and the referee was spot on there, wasn't he?
And the linesman didn't give anything this time, which will please you, Brian.
Yes. Michael Reisiger of Ajax, as I say, he goes to Milan before the start of the new season with Edgar Davids. Anderton. Free kick to Holland. By no means taken from the right place. Seedorf. Played in towards Bergkamp. And Kluivert's in there. This could be a problem.
could have scored.
So it becomes 4-1. Kluivert's only been on 5 minutes.
Yeah, but great players don't take long to show what they're worth. It's a great ball from Bergkamp, but the finish is excellent. He keeps it down, goes through his legs, Seaman's, but Seaman's done everything right, spread himself. And now England have got to keep the concentration so that to help the Scots, really, if nothing else.
Back it goes from Gascoigne. To Seaman.
There's all sorts of calculations to do, but if Holland score again and the score stays the same at the other game, I suppose the Dutch could be through.
I leave that to the blokes in the studio. I'm not up to all those mental calculations.
I've tried to work a few out, but I got headache.
He's done well tonight. And over the top from Robbie Fowler.
Yeah, Anderton's stepped up there. I mean, Robbie Fowler, probably not his strength heading, but he scored some good goals for Liverpool with his head. This is a great ball. He just, because of his lack of inches, he can't keep the ball down under the bar.
I hear from the bowels of Wembley that if the scores stay the same, Scotland are out and Holland are reprieved. It's Danny Blind now. Reisiger. This is Blind. So that Kluivert goal could be so vital for the Dutch. Maybe England aren't finished yet. McManaman. Gascoigne. Into the path of Nicky Barmby. McManaman. Neville. Anderton. He's really impressed with Anderton tonight.
And he can play still better than this, Brian, you know, but it's been a big step up for him, and that'll do his confidence a world of good. Because he's got so much to add to this team.
Seedorf got the better of Gascoigne there, but in goes Adams again. This is Reisiger, and now Kluivert. Jordi Cruyff. Just under 10 minutes to go. England leading by 4-1. Just joined us, 2 to Shearer, 2 to Sheringham, before Kluivert pulled one back for Holland. Gascoigne.
He's worked tirelessly tonight. I mean, he's played some good stuff, and we all know he's capable of that, but we've seen another side to him tonight. His work rate's been phenomenal, and, you know, anyone who questions his fitness, and, you know, people are always doing that with him because of his build. 81 minutes, and he's still covering more ground than anyone out there in a white shirt for England.
Free kick to the Dutch. This is the Kluivert goal again. As you say, terrific work there by Bergkamp to kill it, and that beautiful ball played over Southgate. And an excellent finish there. Difficult angle for Kluivert, but beautifully controlled.
Difficult chance at best of times. We've got to remember he'd only been on about 3 or 4 minutes, Brian, and he suddenly finds himself confronted. It could be a key goal. I mean, if what we're hearing is right, then obviously it is a key goal for Holland because it keeps him in the competition if the scores stay the same.
Here's Fowler. Play for Gascoigne, firmly. Killed well by Gaza. Oh, and he almost got it back from Anderton. Instead of that, the Dutch can spring into attack now with Jordi Cruyff. Bergkamp's up there, Kluivert's in there. This is big Winston Bogarde. 8 minutes to go. For Reisiger. And now Gascoigne. Seedorf. Winter. Seedorf.
It's incredible to talk about a key goal when you've got beat 4-1, but that's the way it could turn out to be. Football's a strange game, man.
So England almost certain now of another appointment here at Wembley on Saturday against Spain.
And all those people before the game who thought it might be a 0-0 draw and both teams play for a draw, that theory's been blown out completely.
Anderton finds Barmby with an excellent ball. Gascoigne getting it from Neville. Adams. Been a good captain again tonight, Adams. But I'm wondering, with Platt on the field, who now is the captain?
Well, when you're Adams' size, you are.
But he's a good skipper, isn't he?
He is, because he leads by example. Doesn't try and do things he can't do. He plays to his strengths.
There he is on the ball now.
They've got a lot of leaders out there. Stuart Pearce, the man on the ball now, is a leader. Alex Ferguson saying that, so is Gary Neville. I mean, I don't know him well, but he looks that type. Of course, Gascoigne leads in his own way as well. Ince, not on there now, but he's a leader.
Gus Hiddink is very important the last 6 minutes for him.
I wonder if he knows what's going on elsewhere, Brian. He certainly can go a bit grayer. He's got a few grey ones there. He'll have a few more after tonight.
De Kock hits it long. Koku trying to get in there. Adams turns it away beautifully there for Neville. Neville finds Gascoigne. That was a bit of the original Gascoigne. That's a bit of the original Gascoigne. Holding off all comers with a few elbows, getting in there as well, but a lovely turn. Bobby Fowler, Darren Anderton. Good team performance all round tonight. Gascoigne. Adams. And now for Southgate. Platt's peeled off to this near touch line to make himself available, but McManaman wants it to strike at the heart of the Dutch defence there. Tip line again. Barmby. Fowler. No penalty. The referee has said no.
I think it's the right decision, but it was so close. And again, some lovely inventive play there from England. I mean, we've took the knocks, and we've had to over the years. We've not done well in Europe. We've not qualified very well for major tournaments. But the plaudits they'll get after tonight's performance, they thoroughly deserve it. We've got to start building our players up again, because we're so good at knocking them down. We're not so good at building them up.
You have to go back a fair way to actually to match an England performance like this, don't you?
Well, I mean, I played in 65 games. I can't think of a better display than this that I certainly played. I can remember losing 2-0 to the Dutch here. A man called Jan Pieters scored 2 goals in the early part of the game. Look at this move here. And I think it would have been a harsh decision, but you can see why there were appeals.
But again, I think the referee was right there. Adams just getting there before Cruyff. Just touch and go. Gascoigne. Just lifting it over Bergkamp. Finding Southgate. Southgate just banging it down the touchline into touch. Let's look at the watch. Well, about 3.5 minutes.
It's lovely to see Wembley full as well, Brian. We've seen so many England friendlies with it half empty. That doesn't help players, when they walk out these big spaces. Especially big players who like to play on a big stage.
Stuart Pearce battling away with young Cruyff, but Cruyff has done well here. But Pearce comes back for some more, but there's a free kick conceded, I think, by David Platt. Darren Anderton there as well, picks himself up. So the silent ranks of orange. It's Seedorf with the free kick. Well, Seedorf's gone a long way back for this free kick. Just 2 men in the wall.
Little chip by him towards Kluivert again, and a goal.
Yeah, that was a good free kick there, but Kluivert really should have left it for, I think it's for Koku, who was coming in late, because he would have had a free header. It's a great ball. And I think Kluivert should have got a shout here to leave this, because there's a man coming in behind him.
$76,000. Here's Barnby. Inside the last 2 minutes. A night of undiluted triumph for England, without any doubt at all. 2 goals by Shearer and 2 by Sheringham. And the teamwork that's gone with it has been quite incredible. The second Shearer goal, actually, the teamwork that led up to that really epitomised the whole night for me.
And the teamwork between the fans and the team is so important. The team got the fans going tonight, and they've sung their hearts out for it, what, 88 minutes now, and they've enjoyed this. They've waited a long time for this.
Scotland need a goal now to go through. If it stays this way, England go into the quarter-finals as group leaders, and Holland go in the second place. Still 1-0 up at Villa Park. Ali McCoy's goal for Scotland against Switzerland. Here's Gascoigne. McManaman's gone forward. Neville. Fierce challenge by Southgate. It's a yellow card for Gareth Southgate.
Now that's a bad booking for Gareth Southgate, because Bergkamp's on the halfway line, and you know he could get another booking against Spain here in the quarter-finals and miss games. I mean, it's crazy. We're 4-1 up. I don't know
actually, it doesn't
if it
look,
was as
it
bad.
Doesn't look a bad challenge at all, does it?
No, it probably looked worse than the referee who was over on the blind side.
Free kick to Holland. Time added on now at the end of 90 minutes.
We've made the Dutch look very ordinary here tonight. I wonder how many times you're going to say that in our lifetimes, Mauro. You know, they've not looked the sort of side that fight you to death, and England will take a lot of confidence out of this game.
It's Anderton. Anderton playing it now for Gascoigne. Gascoigne.
He's enjoying himself out there now, Brian. This is his stage now.
This is exhibition stuff. The crowd are loving it too. Adams. Referee looking at the watch. Kevin was saying, one of the best England performances for many years, certainly in all the years that he's been playing as well. I can't remember, also in watching over many years here, I cannot remember a better all-round England team performance than this. They're all in it together. And as you say, they've made the Dutch look ordinary, and the scoreboard shines out. Netherlands 1, England 4. 2 goals for Alan Shearer. 2 for Teddy Sheringham, 1 for Patrick Kluivert in reply. But England go marching triumphantly into the quarter-finals where they play Spain. Now let's just quickly go to Villa Park to see what's happening there. Our commentator is Alan Parry.
We are into stoppage time at Villa Park. Scotland are leading 1-0. The fans and probably the players know what's happened at Wembley and know that they need a goal, just 1 goal, to go through to the quarter-finals here. Can they get that goal? They're being willed on by thousands of fans at Villa Park. The ball goes in towards Hendry. The goalkeeper catches it, and another Scottish attack on a night full of passionate and skillful Scottish play comes to an end. They've committed so many men forward, they're in trouble though here from Bonbon. And the Swiss player gets in the shot, and those tired legs manage to get it clear. Only the referee knows now how long there is to go, and sadly, he has blown the final whistle, and Scotland's brave attempt to win a place in the quarter-finals has ended in failure. But I tell you, every Scotsman in the world tonight can be proud of their team, because Ian St John, Scotland played magnificently.
This was the best Scottish performance I have seen for many, many years. The football was terrific. And, you know, to get the goal, and it was a wonderful goal as well. It's just so sad that they've gone out.
Well, so sad. Absolutely amazing scenes at Villa Park. Amazing game here as well. Let me just tell you how it all finished in Group A right now. England 7 points out of 9. They meet Spain in the quarter-finals at Wembley. Holland and Scotland, well, they finished there with 4 points apiece. Or is it 5 points apiece, maybe? But thanks to Patrick Kluivert's late goal for Holland at Wembley, the Scots go out. The Dutch meet France at Anfield. And we'll have all the reaction after we've taken a short break and got our breath back. Hello again from a Wembley Stadium, still shaking to its famous old foundations here. England have thrashed Holland 4-1. Let's hear from the England manager, Terry Venables.
Terry Venables, shades of Wembley of '66. What a great night for you. Perhaps only you maybe thought that England would put 4 past Holland.
No, I certainly didn't think that. I thought that we had a very tough game on our hands, and we had to get a lot of movement if we were going to get from it. And I must say, we did that very well.
Tremendous finishing tonight by you.
Yeah, very, very pleased.
So what do you put the performance down to? Getting straight into it?
No, the players have up in confidence from the last game, and they've took it on from there.
But on the sad note, bad news for Paul Ince. He now misses the quarter-final.
Yeah, afraid so. 2 yellow cards, and he can't go in the next game. That's the way it is.
Terry, was that your thinking about the 2 substitutions, taking your strikers off because they both got yellow cards?
Well, I don't think Teddy's got a yellow card.
Well, we think he may have.
Oh, has he? Oh, well. It was with Alan, but again, in saying that, the 2 of them worked tremendously hard, the 2 of them, and we've got another game coming up, and I thought it'd be best to bring them off. It's usually the last 15-20 minutes where you really take that extra reserve away from yourself.
Well, now you've got Spain.
Yeah, Saturday, another one coming up.
But tonight you must be really delighted with this performance and the reaction of the crowd.
I'm very pleased for the players. They've done very, very well.
Well done, Terry.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Terry. He deserves a pat on the back as well, without any doubt, doesn't he? That's a truly memorable night for English football.
Totally stunned everybody in the ground, and it stunned us up here as well. But 4-0 against the Dutch. I mean,
4-1.
Well, at 4-0 up against the Dutch. It finished
them, yeah.
up 4-1.
Talk about total football, total chaos.
Yeah, they did great. I mean, the whole of the England team, while it was set the way it was in the beginning, until Terry made the changes, handled it very well. They got the 2 goals, and then they just played on the break, and they worked very, very hard across midfield. Didn't give the Dutch time to settle and see what they wanted to do, which is the way you have to do it, and punish them.
Let's enjoy the goals then, John, here, starting with Teddy Sheringham from the corner.
Yeah, this was a great movement, a great 1-2 with Gazza and Steve McManaman.
Yeah.
Oh, and
no, the header is the first
header,
one,
right?
John.
Yeah, I mean,
the header was the first one.
There's no way he should have got that power with that header. You know, he was leaning back, and he put it away well.
Yeah.
Everyone Winter was marking him, but he just eased him off, went back, and interestingly, Vichko was on the line when he cleared it in the first half against Shearer, and Vichko goes off the pitch, and they forgot to put someone on the post.
The one you were talking about was the beautiful move which we just admired up here, the Alan Shearer goal, his second one, which is, this is the one you meant,
It's
John.
a great move, yeah, and Gazza shows a lot of strength there, and this is a team playing with confidence. Gazza could have taken it on, Sheringham could have taken it on, laid it on for Shearer. When a team's playing well, people play unselfishly, and there are 2 unselfish players there.
Lovely touch football, Jack, leading up to this, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a good build-up, and it was a good finish, and the goalkeeper couldn't hang on to it. But this one, Gazza, I mean, his awareness is unbelievable in this situation. He knows where everybody is. He's just laid a beautiful little ball back to Sheringham, and Sheringham's pass to Alan Shearer just left Alan hit the target, and Alan did just that.
2 for Alan tonight, Jack. and 2 for Teddy Sheringham.
Well, I said in the beginning, you know, before the competition started, that Alan Shearer was liable to become the best goal scorer in the competition. I mean, he's had 2 goals. He's now up to 4. He's leading the group, and he's tremendous. I mean, he worked very hard tonight, Alan. He worked to the right and he worked to the left, and he worked down the channels, and he gave the centre-backs a lot of problems.
But Sheringham here, Jack, just very coolly knocks this one away.
Yes, well, this is a good shot. It's a bit of a deflection. The goalkeeper makes a good save. But Terry Sheringham coming in here, I mean, unless the guy fouls him, he's going to score.
I'm pleased for Teddy because he's been taking a bit of stick over the first 2 games, and not only to score the goals, but to work as hard as he did and to contribute to the team. I'm very pleased for him.
But we complete our look at action here with what has to be just about the saddest moment for anyone with Scottish blood in their veins here.
We kept, well, fingers crossed, 4-0 Scotland are through. Don't let him score, don't let him score. And then all of a sudden, this one occurs. And it actually goes through Seaman's legs.
It was a great goal by Bergkamp. Bergkamp doesn't necessarily like playing up front by himself.
But it was a danger.
Can I just give you something I'm hearing in my ear now? England are now 3-1 second favourites for this tournament, and Germany remain favourites at 2-1. What do you reckon to that bet?
I think anybody who saw that performance tonight and saw the way that England can work as a team and the way they worked in midfield, which was completely different to the way they worked against the Swiss in the opening game, where the midfield came out and competed with people. The ball is the one that went on from there and played. But they didn't do that against the Swiss in the second half and got punished for it.
Yes.
But Terry's put it right, and it's tremendous. I mean, that was a great performance.
Can they go all the way, do you think, John?
Of course they can, but there are a lot of good teams in the European Championship, so odds mean nothing. You've got 4 or 5 teams who I would consider equal favourites to win it. And of course, one good performance, one bad performance either puts your odds up or down. But they can go all the way.
England, of course, well, they're still very much in this tournament. A super display tonight here at Wembley. Time now for some more reaction.
Congratulations, that was a brilliant performance. Comment first from you, Alan, on tonight's display.
Well, it's certainly the best performance for an England side I've played in. We passed it around, we created chances, and really couldn't have done no more.
Teddy?
Brilliant. It was just a great experience to be involved in it, really. It was a brilliant performance by everybody.
Why did you get into it so quickly? I mean, why was it such a good performance tonight?
Well, we'd worked hard on what we was going to do throughout the week, or throughout the last couple of days anyway. We knew how they were going to play, and we changed our system a little bit just to combat what they did, and it worked brilliantly.
Because you haven't had competitive matches for the last 2 years, Alan, do you think this is a side that's now growing as it gets into things that really matter?
Well, it just goes to prove that the people who know nothing about football said that England couldn't play football, and we had belief in our own ability, and the manager had belief in his players. And although we've done nothing as yet, we're well on the way. We're playing good football, as I said, and we're into the quarter-finals, and we couldn't really ask for any more.
One of the criticisms over the years of England is that they haven't been able to finish as well as they've done their build-ups, but tonight the finishing was quite something.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it all went right for us tonight. As I said, it was a perfect performance, and you couldn't have asked for any more. But people can say what they like about whoever the side. They're entitled to their opinion, as I keep saying. But the players believe in themselves, and the manager believes in us, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Personally, it was an education for me following Dennis around all night, but fantastic result and brilliant boost for the lads.
In your wildest dreams, you couldn't have thought you'd stick 4 past them?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think we were confident that we could win the game, but we don't expect to come and beat a side of that quality by that performance.
It's a great day again for us. I thought Saturday was brilliant, but this is even better. It must rate as personally one of the best games you've ever been in. Yeah, that's right. You know, it's a long time coming because we all had quite a few. It's nice to get 4, but the lads played brilliant. You know, it's a great day. Did you go out there with any special plans apart from scoring 4? No, I just went out, you know, just to make sure that we didn't lose. You know, the players we did on Saturday, which we did, and we got 4 great goals. And you've got Spain now in the quarter-finals here at Wembley. Yeah, it's brilliant. You know, especially a crowd like this. You know, so everything to look forward to. They really got behind you, didn't they? Yeah, you can hear them now. They're fantastic. You know, and there's a lot of Dutch fans in there, but the England fans outsung them easily. Thanks a lot.
And in the press conference, Terry Venables has come out with a quote saying it's his best performance, John, in his 2.5 years in charge.
I would agree
England's
with that.
best performance.
I would agree with that because it was we're under a lot of pressure, you know, from the press, and to score 4 goals against Holland at any time, much less in a European Championship, is excellent, and it was a wonderful performance.
You mentioned 4 goals, Jack. Can I remind you this is the first time England have scored 4 goals in a major tournament since 30 years ago, 1966.
4 goals.
4 goals.
Yes, we finished at 4-2. I forgot about that. I always think of 3, but it was 4-2. Yeah, 4 goals. But that was wonderful. I mean, I couldn't be more pleased for them than the lads. I mean, all the stick they took, and they've gone out there and have shown that they can play and they can compete in the right areas and they can score goals. We knew they could. We knew Shearer could. It's been absolutely wonderful. I mean, the crowd after the game were absolutely splendid.
Alan Shearer there, you mentioned, Jack. Strong words from him. I mean, very strong.
Alan talks as if he's a little bit annoyed with the way people have reacted to the way the England team have prepared.
Is he justified?
I think he's completely justified. I would like to see how some of the newspapers will get out of what they've said and whether they change their mind again tomorrow, because it'll all be heroes and all be this again tomorrow. I mean, after what the lads have gone through, this is the greatest answer they could have given to them in the world.
Well, we started our programme tonight saying stand by for the latest edition of this Euro 96 roundabout that we've had on the England team.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just stunned by the performance. I've never seen an England team, not necessarily the goals they've scored, but the way they played with the ball and without the ball. Holland are pass masters, PASS that is, but they just couldn't get their passing movements going. Harried them in midfield, condensed the game so Holland couldn't play through the midfield. And when we had the ball, we
You're thrilled,
them.
aren't you, John? You're
I'm
thrilled.
delighted for the players because they've come in for a lot of stick.
We're going to miss Ince, though.
Sorry?
We're going to miss Paul Ince. Paul Ince showed tonight what a good player he is and what a good competitor, and he really was the engine to begin with. Gaza played magnificently. He just did the job a little bit more further forward, and he sprayed the ball about, made the passes, made the odd run. But all in all, we're going to miss Ince. That's
Jack,
a shame.
You're also a betting man. Have a quick look at these odds at the end of our evening here. Now, what do you make of this? You know, second favourites there at 3 to 1.
Well, I backed England at 7 to 1. So I can sell 4 to 1 to somebody else. Oh, great. I mean, that's tremendous. The Germans are still favourites. But, I mean, wouldn't it be wonderful if we got an England-Germany final again? Wouldn't it be?
I mean, looking at the odds mean nothing. As Alan has said then, you know, possibly the press are going to go overboard tomorrow and say we're going to definitely win the European Championships. I mean, when you aren't playing well and the press get on your back, you have to really keep your feet on the ground when you do well. So those odds will really mean nothing to Terry Venables and the England lads.
OK, John, Jack, thank you very much. But the story from Wembley Stadium is that England have comprehensively beaten one of the favourites for Euro 96, Holland. They've also topped their group, and that means they stay here at Wembley Stadium for the quarter-finals. Shades of 66? Who knows? Bye for now.